Did you guys know the Third Reich went on an expedition to Agartha in 1938? Yes, that Third Reich. And yes, that Agartha. Alright, so we all know how these guys had some pretty funny ideas, right? Like trying to get into a prestigious Austrian art school without a clear sense of composition. As I have so obviously pointed out with these lines I've drawn. The extent of their tomfoolery unfortunately does not end with their poor use of dynamic symmetry, because in 1938, Heinrich Himmler, German Minister of the Interior, head of the SS, and apparent fan of Quentin Tarantino, as all the pictures I found were of him dressed as Inglourious Basterds' character, sent a 5-member expedition team to Tibet, led by one Ernst Schaefer. There were conflicting reports on the purpose of this mission. Some say it's to conduct research on geology. Wait, no, anthropology. Whatever it was, the Nazi Party had always had a dissident population of occultists. So, some believed that they were searching for the mythical origin of the supposed Aryan race in a mythical city deep in the hollow earth called Agartha, supposedly the entrance of which could only be reached through the mountainous region of Tibet. By all accounts, once they were there, they were welcomed as guests, even meeting the Dalai Lama, though he was a lot younger back then and a completely different child. But by 1939, the war broke out in Europe, forcing them to cut their trip short and haul their lederhosen back to Germany. Some claimed that they had reached Agartha and even had left specific instruction on how to get there. Unfortunately, the instructions were impossible to decipher, as it was written in German. Nevertheless, most historians agree that Agartha was likely completely fictional, as there was no evidence that it had been found. Though I beg to differ, as these so-called historians probably hadn't looked themselves. Kinda like your friend saying your girlfriend doesn't exist even though they've never met her because she goes to a different school and her parents doesn't let her use the phone. But still, that doesn't keep people online from theorizing its existence. The mythical underground city, I mean, not your girlfriend. Speaking of lack of girlfriends, unfortunately the myth recently inspired a school bombing in Indonesia. If you haven't seen that, check out my last video on it.